Greetings, Star Brethren, it's Kamo, and welcome to Starbound. This is going to be the primary questline playthrough for Starbound. I'm going to show you the ins and outs of the quest, how to get through particular levels, and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. This first episode is going to be all about getting started and activating the mysterious gate, as well as meeting the Grand Protectorate. Once you've made your character, you'll show up here, waking up with a smile on your face and a spring in your step, just like everyone does in the morning, right? Right? No? Alright. So as you mosey your way through town and take in the beautiful scenery, you make your way to a celebration. When you arrive, everything is fine, and then the Fire Nation attacks. Wrong story, sorry. So this is where you pick up your matter manipulator and suddenly remember how to run. As you make your way through the crumbling city, be sure to check out chests. A lot of them will have items that'll help you out. Eventually at the end, you're gonna reach your ship. Your beautiful, beautiful ship. Ba-da-da! Welcome to Starbound, your home planet has been destroyed. A little bit later, you find yourself floating above an unknown planet. Boot up the AI for your ship and grab your stuff from the locker. We're going down to the planet. Now the objective at this point is just to explore the planet, and I highly recommend just running along the surface on day one. Just run along the surface, loot all the chests. Part of the reason for this is because there's a couple things you need to keep an eye out for. One is a mine shaft. It's very easy to find and very easy to see. It's going to have a large opening in the side of a small hill. Now I know that describes a lot of caves, but you're also of course going to find wood and barriers and all kinds of stuff, and you'll also find a person walking around in front of it. Now by this point, if you've also found the mysterious gate, you'll know what these core fragments are for. If you haven't found the mysterious gate yet, keep looking, you'll eventually find it. And when you find it, you'll find out that's when you're going to need the core fragments. But the mine itself isn't too bad. You could probably go in there with a decent weapon and make your way through and find a lot of the core fragments. But if you want to play it a little bit safer, here's my recommendation. Head back up to the ship, go into your crafting menu, and make the inventor's table. I usually put all of my crafting stuff on the ship, along with a small farm. The reason for this is if you need to do a lot of travel, you've got a lot of your crafting stuff already there and with you. Now there are colonies and whatnot that you can make, and I will be doing more on that in a separate video. Now just a heads up before we dive any further into this tutorial, the resources for everything that's in the inventor's table can be found on this starter planet. Except for, of course, things like rope and string. Rope you can craft on yourself, string has to be made from the loom, along with woven fabric and that kind of stuff. One of the most important things in Starbound, especially if you've chosen survival or hardcore mode, is keeping yourself fed. It's a lot harder than it used to be, and if you're one of the older folks who played Starbound back in the day, hunger has been reintroduced. It was gone there for a while, so it's important now to keep yourself fed or you will die very, very quickly. It's not instant, but it is very quick. So one of the first things we're going to focus on is getting ourselves a hunting bow. And that is crafted out of the foraging table, which again is inside the inventor's table, and it requires timber and wooden logs. As you might guess, that just comes from trees down on the planet. It requires timber, string, and copper bars. Copper bars are made in a furnace, and the string is made on the loom, or I believe they call it a spinning wheel. If we go back to our inventor's table and see what these require, the primitive furnace is going to take some cobblestone, mud, and a campfire, all made from things again found on the surface. And then the spinning wheel requires timber, cobblestone, and rope. Cobblestone is also found on the surface, although it's more plentiful down underneath the surface. And then also rope, which you can make on yourself. Once you've made these two stations, go ahead and make the string, and then smelt yourself some copper bars at the primitive furnace, obviously once you've gotten the copper. After you've gotten all that, make yourself a hunting bow, and boom, until your farm is online, you've got yourself a way of getting meat, which of course you can cook at a campfire. While you're out and about hunting on the planet, I highly recommend grabbing every single farmable thing that you possibly can. So grab tomatoes, grab rice, just grab everything that you can. Wheat, doesn't matter. Now, once you have the bow and a more stable way of getting food and keeping yourself alive in that regard, we can afford to go deeper for things like iron. Because the next step we'll want to take is getting ourselves a better weapon and better armor. Now before we leave, it looks like the anvil is going to need iron bars, timber, and wooden logs. Iron bars, as I mentioned, you can find iron ore down in the planet. Once you've collected all that, of course, make your anvil. And then for me as a human, it's the scouter set. And that requires iron, woven fabric, and string. Woven fabric and string, again, can be made at the spinning wheel. Now you can also easily bypass a lot of this if you just dig straight down into the planet. You're going to run into the occasional monster, you're going to have to traverse some difficult terrain and whatnot, but it's not quite as monster intensive as the mine is. So that's another option for you if you just kind of want to blitz through this area. Now, once you've gathered all the core fragments, you're going to take them to that mysterious gate and activate the portal. You're going to get another message saying to meet someone on the other side of the outpost to the east in some ruins. So of course, you're going to jump through the portal and you're going to arrive on what looks like a moon. Head to the right and you're going to meet the outpost. This is the outpost I was talking about that has a whole bunch of merchants and they sell a bunch of stuff. You can also sell your stuff. And if you want to look around, feel free. But for this guide, we're just going to go straight to where we need to go, and then that's off to the east. And also while you're here, there's a couple of teleporters that you'll encounter along the way. They're pretty obvious. Be sure to activate those and keep going east, or to the right. Now once you get over there, you're going to meet a super stylish old lady, flying in her pretty sweet chair actually. She'll tell you this long story about a fight between the cultivator and the ruin. The cultivator stopped the ruin, which was the tentacles that attacked Earth. Now the cultivator had to use all of his energy to stop the ruin, but before all of his energy was gone, he entrusted 6 chosen races with artifacts to seal the ruin. Unfortunately, as you saw back on Earth, the barrier broke. So now she wants you to collect those 6 artifacts. But you can't go collecting artifacts in the ship you got. So she sends you back to Penguin Pete. Sorry, not Pirate Pete. Penguin Pete. I assumed he was a pirate. He had a patch over his eye. But anyways, you go back to Penguin Pete, and he sends you off on a quest to the Urkius mining facility. I still to this day don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So that is where this video ends. The entire next video is going to be focused on that mission, and I'm going to show you the ins and outs of getting through there. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out. If it did, be sure to subscribe. I'd like to see you around the channel some more. I make all kinds of guides and goodies. Leave a comment and all that, and I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, you guys take care.